Oftentimes you see a lot of the postures to alleviate lower back pain are stretching postures to create flexibility. You have Malasana, squat pose. You have splits, or more likely Supta Padangustasana. And of course you have half pigeon. So we'll be taking all of those shapes that do alleviate pressure on the lower back by creating space through flexibility creation. And we'll be lifting them up into arm balances. So really fun, should be a fun flow today. It's inherently an arm balance flow. And 2 blocks for recommended props. We'll start lying down on our backs. Beginning in Supta Bakasana, feet together, knees out wide. You can bring your left hand onto your chest, right hand onto your abdomen, and begin to connect to your breath. Take a nice deep inhalation in through the nose. Pausing at the very top. Feel yourself saturated with this new energy. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth, let it go. Slightly firming and toning the neck muscles as you exhale so you can hear the breath as it leaves the body. Pause at the bottom, meditating on all 4 parts of the breath cycle. Once more, inhale deeply through the nose. Pause at top. This time lips sealed back out through the nose, still constricting the back of the throat as you exhale. Imprinting the Ujjayi pranayama, proud conqueror's breath. Just like the waves crashing against the shoreline, we will be breaching into new space throughout the practice. As you saw, I have my blocks on underneath my knees. You can have them there if you'd like. But when you're ready, bring the knees together. Blocks can come off to the sides. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice warm embrace. Rock it gently side to side. So we're going to do all of those arm balances on our backs. From here, take essentially a Malasana squat, but lying down supine. Draw your knees into your armpits. Kick your heels towards your seat. And then place your triceps directly on top of your shins. So you're making a nice crow pose shape, even though we're not supporting our body weight with our arms quite yet. Just really unearthing, getting to know this particular shape. All right, so we're in for some core work. Pretend like you're pressing it up into your handstand. So draw your knees high up and in towards your armpits, start to straighten through your arms. And then elevate the knees off of the armpits and extend into your handstand. We can visualize. Now just your right knee to your right armpit. Land in your Ekapada, one-legged crow. Press that up into your handstand. Left knee to left armpit, one-legged crow, Ekapada on the left side. Press it back up into your handstand. Right leg stays straight to right tricep, Koundinyasana. Press it up into handstand. Left leg stays straight, left tricep, Koundinyasana. On the other side, press it back up into your handstand. All right, now listen carefully. Right ankle on top of your left thigh, make a figure 4 shape. Now use your left leg to draw your right leg in like a thread the needle. Arms reach straight towards the sky. Can you use your right foot? Hold on to your left shoulder. Maybe extend the left leg. Galavasana, also known as flying pigeon. And just press it up into your handstand. Same thing, other side. Left ankle on top of your right thigh. Use your right knee, draw the left leg in towards you. Hook the foot across your shoulder. Maybe extend right leg, maybe. Press it up into your handstand. Right leg comes across to left tricep, Koundinyasana. Press it back up into handstand. Left leg comes across to right tricep, the other Koundinyasana. Press it back up into handstand. Legs come wide, reach your arms through, Basana. And happy baby pose. We're gonna enjoy a bridge pose after all of that. So feet to mat. Make sure your fingertips can graze your ankles. Press down through the balls of the feet and lift your hips up. Hands can come behind the back, interlace, and press your chest towards your chin. Release the interlace, extend the arms straight up, protract shoulder blades, slowly lower the spine down, and windshield wiper the knees side to side to release in your lower back. So even if we aren't pressing up into handstand quite yet, we still want to visualize. And in order to do that, let's really connect with the central axis. Extend the arms up and overhead as you inhale. Exhale, reach your arms forward. You can slide your feet as far forward as you need to roll the spine up, one vertebra at a time. And again, with or without blocks, visualize yourself as a channel. Block can come between the thighs, block can come between the hands. Squeeze both blocks, inhale as you slowly lower. Extend the arms. Reach the arms straight forward, roll the spine back up. Once more, inhale as you slowly lower. And exhale on exertion, firm navel to spine, roll the spine back up. All right, release the blocks. Blocks can come behind you now. Walk your feet in. Press down through the balls of the feet. Press down through your hands on blocks. Lift the hips up for your reverse tabletop. Glide your hips back behind your wrists. So you're creating a counterbalance. See if you can flip one foot up, maybe followed by the other. Press up, lift up, reverse table. And glide the hips back down to the ground. Cross the shins, roll over the legs. Come forward into your tabletop pose. Take a couple cat-cows as you inhale. Melt the heart forward and up, sit punch, reach up, gaze up. And exhale, round and spine, gaze at navel. So I know I did a flow about how to eliminate the hops. This is not the most ideal surface to practice yoga upon, so hopefully you have a nice flat floor wherever you are. But I'm going to be using the blocks to create a nice even platform for me to practice. If you want to, you can join me. It's an excellent way to conduct energy and to amplify the standing still wave, making it easier to stabilize. Hip circles, shoulder circles, take it into the cat-cow remix. And when you're complete with that, in your tabletop, tuck toes, hips rise up and back, downward facing dog. You can walk it out, bending one knee and then the other. Allow the hips to shift side to side, breathing into calves, hamstrings, and lower back. From downward facing dog pose, lift your heels, tiptoe your feet all the way to the front of the mat. And release it into your Malasana squat. Feet point out wide, heels together. Nice long stance. Elbows press into your inner thighs. Press the palms together, broaden across your collarbones. So we are going to explore our first arm balance. Again, here it is. Here's Malasana. It is great for lower back pain. You should sit in it on a regular basis if you are experiencing pressure in your lower spine. But again, it can and should be lifted in order to build infrastructure around the space that it creates. So we're going to lift the Malasana up into Bakasana. If you are new to Bakasana, you can actually utilize the blocks in such a way to leverage yourself into this space. So one block, lowest setting, you can perch on that block. Second block can come underneath your forehead. See how you can literally structurally support yourself as you learn to build familiarity with this space. Feet perch on the block, hands plant. Float up into your crow. Make a shelf with your arms. And then slowly get light with your feet on the block. Again, forehead can come to this block. I may not need it, but literally here, you can be here as you start to unearth this shape. Then over time, you may not need this block. Then over time, you may not need this block. And I'm going to, again, invite you to try arm balancing with hands on blocks. It's a little bit more sensational because you literally will feel a stronger current of energy flowing through your asana. All of the asanas are essentially standing soul waves. So you can grip the sides of the block with your fingers. Knees come high up and in. See if you can float it up. Maybe straighten through the arms. So if you are new to Bakasana, feel free to hang out here. I'm going to offer an opportunity to do a fakie Bakasana. So you can just keep your right foot grounded on the mat, like so, and extend that left leg back. If you're looking for a more challenging way to get into your Ekapata, come back into your Bakasana. I like to maintain that little shelf initially to start. Shift onto the right side, left knee comes unglued. You can start with the bent knee, hug it in towards midline. Over time, you can start to think about extending that leg back. And we'll all step the left foot way back. Right foot can step between the palms. Left foot swings down to a 45. Inhale as you rise. Warrior one. From warrior one, hands come behind the back, interlace. Puff chest as you inhale. And exhale, hinge from hips with heart. As the right shoulder passes the right knee, then begin to round. Lengthen the whole spine up and out of the pelvic bowl. Breathe into your lower back. Grounding down to lift up. Roll the spine up. Both arms sweep up. Hands to hips as you straighten through your right leg. Scoot left foot forward, shorten stance. Inhale as you find length of the spine. Exhale, hinge from hips with heart. Hands come down to mat. Or to blocks. In this instance, blocks make things a lot easier. So you can push your hands through blocks or through mat. If you're on the mat, I would recommend lifting up onto your fingertips. Tent the hands. Plug your right femur bone into right hip, suck the right foot off the mat just an inch. Yes, per usual. Right foot sets back down to ground. You can take the blocks with you for a supported warrior three. Lean weight forward into your right foot, float left leg up. Hands can come into heart center. Maybe airplane wings. Option to reach the arms forward. Amazing. Hands can come back down to blocks, to mat. Maybe draw your forehead towards your shin. Okay, so before we attempt the handstand, I do want you to just attempt this, because this will help so much with refinement of alignment. So we're not just building strength just to build strength. We're building strength to be able to conduct cosmic energy through the spine. So really briefly, before we actually attempt the handstand, try with me here in your crow to touch your toes into your forearms. Then maybe straighten. And back down. Woo! Oh, it's good. So, yes, handstand, take it up from your standing split. I'm gonna do a little hop for the purposes of demonstrating the hollow back transition into hollow body and how we can make it as seamless as possible by lowering the feet into a toe tap. All right, so from your standing split, right heel lifts, left leg extends up, gaze between the thumbs, push the floor away, kick towards yourself as you hop. Arrive in your warrior three upside down. Plug the femur head bone into the hip socket. Then slowly draw the legs together up to meet. Squeeze legs together, reach out to the balls of the feet. Now from here, bend in the knees. As you allow your hips to roll back, draw your knees into your chest. As much as possible, as much as possible, as much as possible. Notice the bum comes back, the knees come forward. And then last moment, release the feet toe tap. We're back in the crow. Woo! Yeah. Talk about infrastructure for your lower back. Wild. So take your forearms really quickly. Forearms can come on top of your calves. Take a seat, nod it side to side. I know this can be a lot on the wrists, so you can also lower it down onto your forearms and do all of these movements to build infrastructure around your lower back. It's so beautiful. Literally, by learning how to maneuver your hips in space, we are learning how to engage these muscles that protect. All right, on to the other side. So that being said, if you just did Bakasana and you want to skip it, feel free. If you did Bakasana, gotta do it again. So feel free to use the blocks, perch on the block, ease in, just as we did before. Maybe from your Bakasana. This time, again, maintain a little shelf. It doesn't have to be a 90, but a nice obtuse angle. Shift into your left shin. Draw right knee in towards midline. Maybe extend that right leg back. Awesome work. And then stepping that right foot way back. Left foot steps between the palms. Right foot swings down to a 45. Inhale as you rise. Warrior one. Charge up the back leg. Drive your right hip forward as you drive your left hip back. Lift the frontal hip points. Hands come behind the back. Interlace opposite them on top. Puff the chest as you inhale. And exhale. Hinge from hips, lead with heart. As your left shoulder passes your left knee, then begin to round. In the upper spine, deep Ujjayi breaths, breathe into the lower back. Grounding down to lift up, roll the spine up, both arms sweep up. Hands to hips as you straighten through your left leg. Scoot the right foot forward, shorten the stance. Inhale as you find length, exhale, hinge from hips, lead with heart, hands come down to blocks. Whew. And again, push the blocks away. Plug left femur head bone into your left hip socket. See if you can. Put left foot off of the mat just an inch. Left foot back down to ground. Hands. Walk forward on blocks. Supported, warrior three. Shift weight forward into your left foot, right leg lifts. Push out through heel, reach out through crown. And option two, get light in the hands. Hands into heart center, airplane wings, maybe extend the arms straight forward. Hands to mat, standing splits. Draw forehead towards chin. Breathe in through your left hamstrings. Pause for a moment in your Malasana. So we really want to make sure that we can create a straight line through the thoracic spine. So there isn't a dent, a marked dent that's created by the muscle tension in the shoulders. So really crucial. This is why the hashtag tuck so you don't suck even exists, right? So again, try for the toe tap. If you want to do it on the ground, I'll show you on the ground for this next round. The only fear is that you'll end up in a forward fold, right? So I'll show you really quickly. You're in your block, toes press to the forearms. You start to straighten, and down. You end up in a forward fold. No biggie. All right, so let's give it a go. And watch as I allow the hips to move behind the power line. The shoulders and the wrists are still in one perpendicular line to the ground. But I'm allowing the hips to go behind that power line that line segment creates between my wrists and my shoulders as I bring my knees forward. Little tiny hop takes you up. There we go. Find that spindle that is your Sushumna channel. Carry it all the way out through your toes. And then slowly, bending in the knees. Bum comes back. Reach that bum back, knees come further forward. till the point where you actually get to compression, and then release the feet. Whew. Good stuff. Go ahead and meet me in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. Feet are about hips distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Heels can point slightly outward, so we're in a little tiny bit of a pigeon toe. Drive the heels into the mat, breathe into the backs of the legs. From downward facing dog, right leg can extend up and back. Now try this with a straight leg. Right leg can come out to the side and up to your right tricep. Sweep it up and back as you inhale. Exhaling, knee to nose, round upper spine, gently step right foot between the palms. Left foot can swing down to a 45. Windmill it up, lead with your left arm for your warrior two. Heel to arch alignment. Relax the shoulders, re-extend out the fingertips. Flip your right palm and reverse your warrior. Left hand thigh or calf, lengthen through the right side. Inhale as you rise, right elbow, right thigh, left arm extends forward, extended side angle. Left hand can reach back, catch the half bind. Right hand to the instep of the right foot. And there is a full bind. Of course, feel free to take the full bind. Gently release that. And rise it back up into your warrior two. Straighten through your right leg. Heel toe your left foot forward, shorten the stance a little bit. Deepen in your right hip crease, extend right arm forward, reach. Right hand can come to ankle, shin, floor, or block. Left hand extends up. Wrap your right seat underneath, roll your left shoulder back. Breathe across your chest and out through your fingertips. Feel the breath permeate every cell of your being. When you're ready, bending in your right knee, lean weight forward. Press up, lift up, float left leg up. Left leg floats up. Bend your left knee, reach back, catch your left foot. Kick foot into hand. Slingshot your heart forward. And when you're complete, gently release. Re-extend the left leg back. With grace and ease, step it back, warrior two, and settle in. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, lengthen through your right side. Windmill the hands down to the mat. All right, left heel lifts, left knee lowers. This arm balance is challenging, so just do what you can. I do like the blocks because the blocks make things a little bit easier if you have tighter hamstrings. We're going to continue to utilize the blocks as our foundational point. So right arm comes to the inseam of the right leg. Kind of slide your right arm underneath your right hamstrings. Create a shelf with your tricep. Then tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee up. Can you straighten through your right leg? It's okay if you can't. You can also kick that right foot in towards you. Lean weight forward. See if you can. Float that left leg up and back. Again, you can set down, re-extend the right leg back, or potentially full arm balance. Left elbow can come underneath your left hip. Pull your chest forward. Float the left leg up and back. And furthermore, you can take it off of that left elbow. It's still hugging in towards the side body though. And vinyasa. Inhale into your up dog. And exhale, pike the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Amazing. Again, we're slowly prying this space open, while at the same time providing insulation. From your downward facing dog pose. Left leg extends up and back as you inhale. Try to keep the left leg straight if you can. Left leg comes out to the side. See if you can hug your left tricep with your left leg. Engage your core, sweep it up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step the left foot between the palms. Right foot swings down to a 45. Heel to arch, windmill it up, leading with your right arm for your warrior two. Relax the shoulders, extend out through fingertips. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Right hand to thigh or calf, lengthen through your left side. Inhale as you rise, left elbow, left thigh. Right arm extends forward, extended side angle. One straight line of energy all the way from the outer edge of your right foot out through your right fingertips. Right hand can reach back, catch the half bind. Left hand instep with the left foot, there is a full bind. Feel free to take the full bind. Roll that right shoulder back. Puff the chest. When you're complete with the bind, release it, rise it back up, warrior two, settle in. Straighten through your left leg. Heel toe your right foot forward to shorten the stance. Deepen in your left hip crease. Extend your left arm forward, reach. Left hand to ankle, shin, floor, right arm extends up and twist. The spine open. Lock it in. We're really feeling out into these very prominent energetic lines. The universal grid. Feel yourself crystallize. Then when you're ready, taking it onto one foot. Bend in the left knee. Block can come with you. Pressing down through your left foot. Root to rise. That right leg up, right hip stacks. On top of the left, push out through heel, reach out through crown. Option two, bend your right knee. Reach back, catch your right foot. Kick foot into hand and slingshot the heart forward towards front of the room. Or the front of your yoga mat. Couple more deep Ujjayi breaths here. When you're complete with your Kapotasana, gently release, re-extend the right leg back. With grace and ease, step it back. Warrior two, settle in. Flip it, reverse it. Adding in the lateral bends and the back bends to counterbalance all of the upper body work we're doing with these arm balances. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Right heel lifts, right knee lowers. Just to get situated, walk the left foot over to the left. Left hand. Again, try it with the blocks. It's kind of surprising. It's counterintuitive because it seems a little bit intimidating to lift your arm balance practice up an inch or so off of the mat, but it does amplify the current. So it will make these postures easier to stabilize in space. See if you can. Bring your left arm underneath your left hamstrings. Tuck back toes, engage your right thigh, see if you can lift your right foot back up. Maybe point the left foot between the arms. See if you can float the right foot up. Again, maybe left leg stays straight. Initially, you can wrap that right elbow in and set the hip down. Eventually, over time, you won't need the right elbow. The right elbow will become as a crutch. See if you can float right leg up and back. Vinyasa. Step it back if you need to. Inhale, up dog. On the blocks, feels glorious. Pike the hips up and back. Downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose, right leg extends up and back as you inhale. Exhale, step the right foot behind your left wrist. Release the right knee behind the right wrist. Go ahead and release it down for your half pigeon pose. So half pigeon is of course going to alleviate pressure in the lower back. This posture will also open up a tremendous amount of space in the sacrum. Once lifted, it will provide structural support, infrastructure. You're gonna have so much protection, preventing that space from collapsing in on itself again. So enjoy your half pigeon as long as you like, of course. Make sure that your heel is where it needs to be. It does not need to be shin parallel with the front of the mat, right? If the heel needs to be back a little ways, perfectly fine. A couple more deep Ujjayi breaths here. Amazing. So we've done the flexibility portion of this arm balance first because it is absolutely essential for where we're going. If you need to just chill in half pigeon, then do so. This is a gradual unearthing. You may not even attempt this arm balance. This may just be exposure to it. So visually seeing the posture is the first step. When you're ready, you can tuck your back toes, engage your left thigh, lift your left knee up, lift your hips up, and step the left foot forward. Right ankle can stack on top of your left thigh. Again, I'm going to encourage use of the blocks. You can literally use your left thigh to slide your shin high up and in towards your armpits, hard flex in the right foot. Lean into the new foundation. Maybe see if you can float the left foot up. Maybe extend that left leg back. And again, you can, if you want to, shoot it back into your chaturanga. I can kick off of my upper triceps with my right shin and extend back through vinyasa. We go, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. That posture does take time. When you're ready, left leg extends up and back as you inhale. Exhaling, step left foot behind your right wrist. Release the left knee behind the left wrist. Set it all down into your half pigeon. And what's so great about this is, again, it's not about reaching a destination. This is making the home that is the body a comfortable abode for the spirit. So it's a gradual process. Be patient with yourself. What's so miraculous though is with all of these arm balances, I'm sure you're beginning to realize you're sending energy from your power center, which is solar plexus, the navel, through your legs in order to squeeze your legs into your arms. And that is what's creating the strength. It's absolutely perfect, right? So again, this is quite literally us coming back home to ourselves. It's like we're hugging ourselves with our legs. And who would have thunk it would have this beautiful effect wherein it would naturally create strength to fortify and protect the sacrum, the lower back. So again, be patient with yourself as you come back home to yourself. Feel free to stay here in half pigeon, that being said. Hands walk in, tuck back toes, engage right thigh, lift right knee up. Lift your hips up, push down through your palms, and just step that right foot forward. Left ankle stacks on top of the right thigh. Hands plant on blocks or on the yoga mat. Again, it is a little bit daunting, higher lifted up, but you might find a little bit more success than anticipated because of the amplified current of energy. Slide the shin high up and in towards your armpits. Hard flex in your left foot, hold on to your right deltoid. Make a shelf with your arms. Push the shin into your arms, float right foot up, maybe extend that right leg back. Beautiful. Wherever you are, make your way back through your vinyasa. If you're hopping back through, make sure those toes are tucked to receive the floor as you hop back into chaturanga. Inhale into your upward facing dog. And exhale, pike the hips up and back. Downward facing dog pose. Shorten your downward facing dog pose. Walk those blocks back. If your hands are on blocks, of course, hands on mat are fine. And we're gonna do a little walk through. Push the blocks away, round in the upper spine. Walk your feet through your arms. It's a great place for the blocks. You can walk it back. Another option is to do a little hop through from a shortened downward facing dog pose Push the blocks away, lift the heels, bend the knees. You can take a little hop through, maybe take it up. Into your tuck. See if you can extend back up. Butt comes back as feet come forward. Coming into a pike. And see if you can hug those thighs into your chest as you slowly lower through into your L-sit. Again, you can always step through to seated just for funsies, right? Only do it if it sparks joy. Hug your right knee and extend your left leg out. Right leg comes up and over your left leg. Now for this next arm balance, you're going to need to rotate onto the outer edge of the left foot or left hip and slide your left heel back towards your outer right hip. If that's not happening today and you still need to keep the left leg straight, then forego this arm balance, build more twisting potential. So what I love about the arm balances, they keep us honest about balancing the polarities. And we've got to find that even keel between strength and flexibility. Right hand behind the sacrum. Left arm extends up. Exhale, left elbow, outer edge of right knee from navel into twist. Inhales, firm the pelvic floor. Lengthen the spine. Exhales, firm navel to spine and twist deeper. So if you have a really deep twist, then you can go into this next arm balance. Shift weight into your left shin. Float the hips up. I'm going to bring the blocks back in again. So for this version of Koundinyasana, and there are two Koundinyasana named after a sage, we are placing both femur bone, or both elbows directly onto the femur bone. Initially to start. Eventually we can float off of, in this instance, the right elbow. But initially to start, as you're first learning, utilize the crutches until they're no longer needed. So right elbow is going to come directly to your right hip. Left elbow is just above the knee. So we're placing the whole femur bone, the flesh of the thigh, directly on top of the triceps. Make a shelf. See if you can float one or both feet up. Eventually you can straighten through the legs. Eventually you can float up off of that right elbow. Gently release, rebend in the knees, and set it back down to ground. Amazing. Calendar balance twist. Back over to your left. You can forward fold it if you'd like. Back through to center. Stack the knees, heels towards outer hips. While we're here, go Bakasana, cow face pose. Right arm extends up. Bend elbow, reach left hand up back for fingertips. Inhale as you find length. And exhaling to forward fold it. Deep Ujjayi breaths. Bring all of your awareness inwards as space unlocks and reveals itself to you. Rolling the spine back up through to seated. And release the arms. You can shake them out. Hands can come behind, legs in front. Woo, bounce the knees, windshield wiper feet. Now the left leg will draw in. Left leg comes up and over right. Feel free to just work the stretch. And no, it's kind of fun. It's like working a puzzle in your own body, but we have to actually make the pieces before they can fit together. So feel free to keep this right leg extended. Maybe lean onto your right hip. Slide your right heel towards your outer left hip. Left hand behind the sacrum. Inhale, right arm extends up. Exhale, right elbow, outer edge of your left knee. Again, as you inhale, firm your pelvic floor, grow your spine long, all the way through the crown. Then as you exhale, firm your navel towards the spine and kiss it in towards the heart space. Twist deeper using your deep core muscles. And if you feel really confident in your Ardha Matsyendrasana, Kingfish pose, you're deep enough to take this into an arm balance. Again, use the blocks. They're a lovely ally in learning how to unearth these more challenging shapes that are the arm balances. Start to lift up onto your right shin, float the hips up. Hands plant on the floor or on blocks. Again, initially, you can place this left elbow directly onto your left hip. Eventually, over time, we'll be able to extend this arm. Place the whole femur bone on top of the upper arms. See if you can, maybe straighten through the legs. Maybe float off of the left elbow. Rebend in the knees. Gently set it back down. Release the twist, counterbalance twist to the right. Back through to center and stack the knees. Heels towards the outer hips. Left arm can extend up, bend elbow, reach right hand up back for fingertips. Inhale as you find length through the spine. And exhaling to forward fold it. Be the witness. Observe the thoughts as they come up, but don't identify with them. Rolling the spine back up through to seated. Release the arms, shake them out. Hands behind, legs in front. Bounce the knees. You can windshield wiper the feet. Slide flesh of the bum out from underneath. Inhale as you sweep both arms up. And exhale, hinge from hips with heart forward fold. When you're ready, join me lying down on your back. You can take your blocks, walk your feet in, press down through the balls of the feet, lift your hips up, and slide the blocks, a little block tower underneath. Enjoy a little bit of bridge time, supported. I'm going to offer out, of course, a deeper back bend. This was predominantly a upper body focused class, considering we were doing so many arm balances, and also sacral focused. But there's plenty of heat, lots of tapas stored up in the heart space. So if you'd like to take a deeper back bend, feel free. I'll do another open heart flow, of course, because Valentine's Day is coming up. Blocks can come off to the sides, hands alongside your ears, fingers pointing towards your shoulders. Wrap the elbows and the knees in, press down through the big toe mounds. Really feel all of the balls of your feet. Press up, lift up, roll the spine up. Into your full Padangustasana. Of course, hang out here as long as you like. Breathe into the heart space. And whenever you're complete, walk the hands back out. Tuck the chin back of the head to the mat first. Slowly lower the spine down. And we're gonna do those postures that we did up in the air as arm balances. So hug the right knee in and extend your left leg out. So even if you didn't do the arm balances, you can start to think about creating the space for those arm balances. You can draw the right leg in towards you. Feel free to utilize the strap here too if you'd like, if you can't quite catch your foot. Left hand can stay on the left hip. Right hand guides the right foot over to the right. So the left hand comes onto the left hip to remind the left hip to stay grounded, as you'll lose the inner thigh stretch if the left hip elevates. And again, this is Koundinyasana, lifted up into an arm balance. Back through to center. Feel free to hang out here for longer. Left hand reaches across, catch outer edge of the right foot, draw the right leg across the body over to your left. So here is the other Koundinyasana. As you can see, these are both of the arm balances that we did earlier. Back through to center, hug the right knee in, hug the left knee and extend the right leg out. And maybe straighten through the left leg. Feel free to utilize the strap. If you can't catch the foot, no worries. Open the left leg out to the left. Right hand can stay on the right hip to remind it to stay grounded. Nice deep Ujjayi breaths all the way up until Shavasana, especially now at the end of class. We still have so many spaces that are ready to receive. Back through the center, right hand reaches across. Catch outer edge of the left foot, draw the left leg across. Really let that left hip roll all the way to stack on top of the right hip. You can even go beyond. Right shoulder reaches down towards the ground, so you're lengthening through your whole left side body, reaching your iliac crest of your hip crease away from your floating ribs. Deep Ujjayi breaths. So we're doing the passive stretch too. We didn't forget. Back through the center, but notice it is so much more delightful. All of the right spaces are nice and hot. Hug both knees in. And extend the legs up. Wrap your elbows in towards your side bodies. Engage your core. And sweep the legs up and overhead for your shoulder stand. You can walk the hands down the back. Press chest towards chin. Maybe lower the feet down for your Halasana plow. Option to bend the knees around the ears for ear squeeze. When you're complete, gently release. Slowly lower the spine down. Hands can come underneath your butt. Extend the legs out. Press down through your forearms and lift your chest up. Let the head hang back towards the mat. Breathe into the front of the throat. And then gently release. Happy baby pose. Catch outer edges of the feet. Rock it gently side to side. And extending the legs out. Feet flop open. Palms face up. Close the eyes. Shavasana for as long as you need to integrate these developments, this rearrangement of the tamas gunas through invocation of the rajas gunas. Give yourself time to process with the sattvic gunas. Honestly, it is truly a huge motivator to get you onto your yoga mat. So it is a blessing in disguise if it is what motivated you to get to your yoga mat. It definitely motivated me, among other things. I suffer from debilitating lower back pain, and so I am so grateful for the opportunity to pay it forward and give you all of the tools that I required in my own body to build the structural integrity necessary to live a life free of lower back pain. So pay it forward. Feel free to share this video with friends. Make sure to love up on your wrists, right? You can squeeze rice, you can work dumbbells, you can do wrist ups, and you can stretch them out in tabletop. All the circles, all the different directionalities of the hands. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy your life, be present every moment. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.